Do you believe in free will?
I think it depends on how we define free will, right? I think the way we have
Fair.
defined free will and the way that many of us think of free will is you ask me right now, do I want to do something? And I can freely decide whether I want to do it. Our brain is calculating decisions all the time without our conscious awareness. And there's tons of data and research out there to show that.
Yeah.
And if you think about that particular data and the data that shows that our decision is made before we're consciously aware of it, that, of course, does not necessarily support free will, quote unquote, in the way that it is defined by our society and in the way that many of us think about it. Sapolsky, the title of his book implies that there's this predetermined path for us and everything is set, which I don't believe in at all. So we can change the way that we react to things. Our brain decides by default that I'm going to, because I've been doing this, I haven't been mindful and conscientious of the way I react while I'm out driving. And my brain clicks and defaults into, because it's easy. Our brain is a lazy organ. Our brain weighs 3% of our body's weight, but it uses 30% of our body's resources. It wants to conserve those as much as possible. And that's also why our brain is making decisions as easily as possible. And this all comes back to behavioral neuroscience and these like default principles by which the brain makes decisions. So again, to kind of loop things out, we talked about the fact that we can change our behaviors and decision-making patterns with effort and energy, but we have to be conscious of it. We have to be aware. We have to put effort into it. That is the free will part. We can change the way that our brain defaults to making decisions. We calculate, even when we make a hard decision, while our brain may have come to it before we're consciously aware, we still control the inputs that are coming in. Now, there may be some unconscious things that are biasing us in certain ways. But, if I'm debating buying a car, I go out and I gather all this data, and some of that I don't always consciously determine the weight of all these things. But it's not predetermined that I'm going to go out and buy a Tesla because I'm never buying a Tesla. Now, I'm all for electric cars, but anyway, that's not for this. But my brain, like that wasn't predetermined, and actually that's evolved over time because I might have said I would 5 years ago. Our things change. The context of our life changes. There's a lot of conversation about synthetic data right now. I think synthetic data is horrible when it comes to research. Synthetic data is basically like you're taking existing, and maybe good for certain circumstances, but like the concept behind this is you take existing behaviors and actions and try to predict how people are going to act based on new contexts. That's hard. When you have a new context, it completely changes, it flips the script.